Chicago Fire warns of layoffs and forced retirements. Which characters will get cut? During this Wednesday's episode, the city sends Ambrose to audit Firehouse 51, which has the whole crew groaning in displeasure, especially because they're down several team members. Severide and Stella get called to the hospital, where a woman is in labor and has chosen them as the baby's adoptive parents, but ends up changing her mind. Meanwhile, Pascal is taking the day off. Carver is still part-time until he completes his recovery program, and Violet and Novak are assigned to an event at the convention center. Ambrose rides along with Engine to their rescue call, timer in hand, and proceeds to clock everything. Back at the firehouse, he questions Herman's backup plan. Redundancy is the thief of efficiency, he says, to which Herman counters that they wouldn't be having this conversation if he was first responder. As critical as Ambrose is of 51, they still come to his help when he passes out from heat exhaustion. Once recovered, he lets Herman and Mouch know that the firehouse passed the test, but big cuts are coming soon from the city. They can expect layoffs and forced retirements, with probationary and older firefighters the first to go. Mouch reminds Ambrose of everything he and Herman have accomplished, then adds, "Us old-timers are not going anywhere." But do they really have a choice? And with Herman still somewhat non-committal about becoming chief, could that be even more reason for CFD to let him go? Or do you think someone else from 51 will be cut? Could these layoffs end up explaining how the show plans to write out Ritter and Carver, whose portrayers will not return for the recently announced 14th season? Tensions are reaching a boiling point at Firehouse 51. In a shocking turn that mirrors real-world challenges faced by first responders, Chicago Fire is diving into a controversial and emotional storyline. Citywide budget cuts have forced the CFD to issue a warning. Layoffs and forced retirements are on the table. And no one, not even our most beloved firefighters, is safe. As Chief Wallace Bowden calls an emergency meeting in the firehouse's common room, the air is thick with anxiety. "I won't sugarcoat it," he says gravely. The city has ordered a 10% reduction in personnel across all houses. That means some of us may be saying goodbye, whether we want to or not. A stunned silence follows. The camera pans from a wide-eyed Ritter to a grim-faced Severide. Even Gallo, usually brimming with jokes, looks shell-shocked. And with good reason. Over the years, Firehouse 51 has seen its fair share of tragedy and turnover. But this time, the threat isn't a burning building or a collapsing structure. It's red tape, city bureaucracy, and cold, hard numbers. Who's at risk? Let's break down who might be on the chopping block and why. Christopher Herman, David Egenberg. One of the oldest and most seasoned members of the team, Herman has been through it all. But with whispers of forced retirement targeting those nearing pension age, Herman might be pushed out whether he likes it or not. His pride, his loyalty to 51, and his role as a father figure to many make this especially gut-wrenching. Could this be the end of Herman's time on the squad, or will he fight the system with the tenacity we've come to expect? Foreshadowed scene. A heart-wrenching moment in Molly's bar where Herman sits alone, nursing a beer, staring at his badge on the table. Cindy quietly joins him. "You don't have to prove anything, Chris. You already have." Joe Cruz, Joe Manoso. Cruz has had a difficult season emotionally, juggling fatherhood and memories of his late best friend Otis. Now, with layoffs looming, his family-first mindset could push him to volunteer for early retirement, especially if it means protecting younger firefighters like Gallo and Ritter. Could Cruz's story take a twist toward becoming a CFT trainer or youth mentor outside the department? Foreshadowed scene. Cruz staring at his baby's crib, holding his uniform jacket in his hands. The weight of responsibility hangs heavy in his eyes. Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo. Kidd is climbing the ranks quickly, and that ambition may be her saving grace or her downfall. With CFD potentially consolidating leadership roles, she may find herself asked to transfer, take a desk job, or lead a different firehouse altogether. Would she leave 51 and her husband, Severide, behind to save her career? Foreshadowed scene. A heated argument between Kidd and Severide in the locker room. They want to promote me, but I'd have to leave 51, she says, and maybe leave us. Ritter and Gallo, Daniel Curie, and Alberto Rosend. These two rookies bring youthful energy and heart to the team, but they may also be viewed as expendable due to their lower rank and shorter tenure. Could the department cut the newer recruits to spare the veterans? Or will their camaraderie and promise inspire Bowden to fight for their place? Foreshadowed scene. Ritter and Gallo joking during a routine call, trying to pretend things are normal, until a moment of silence hits and Ritter says, "What if this is our last run?" Chief Wallace Bowden, Eamon Walker. It's almost unthinkable, but Bowden himself may be at risk. The city might decide that replacing experienced leadership with a younger, lower-salary chief could save funds. Bowden's future could hinge on whether he's willing to take a demotion or step aside to protect the house he built. Foreshadowed scene. Bowden meeting with city officials, staring down a spreadsheet full of numbers that don't reflect the value of brotherhood, bravery, or sacrifice. Could a surprise return stir the pot? Fans are speculating that this storyline could open the door for some surprise cameos, especially if a spot opens up or someone returns to fight for 51's survival. Could we see the return of Matthew Casey, Jess Spencer, now using his political clout to advocate for the House? Or could Gabby Dawson, Monica Raymond pop in, reigniting old sparks and helping rally public support? What this means for the show. The potential layoffs are more than just a plot twist. They're a symbolic crossroads. Chicago Fire has always been about more than just fighting blazes. It's about loyalty, found family, and the sacrifices made in the name of duty. By turning the lens inward, showing that the danger isn't just on the streets, but in budget meetings and bureaucratic decisions, the writers are reminding viewers that even heroes are vulnerable to the system. Expect emotionally charged episodes, goodbyes at Molly's, impassioned speeches, and possibly some career-defining decisions. Will our favorites rally together to save 51, or will this be the beginning of a massive shakeup? Fan theories: who will get cut? Social media is buzzing with theories. Herman will go out on his own terms, mark my words. Cruz volunteers to leave, but Bowden finds a loophole to keep him. Gallo's gone. They've been setting it up for weeks. Bowden leaves, and Casey returns to lead 51. Final alarm. With the firehouse's future uncertain, one thing is clear. Chicago Fire is stoking the flames of drama like never before. And when the smoke clears, Firehouse 51 may never look the same again. Whose boots will remain at the firehouse doors, and whose will be taken off for good? Stay tuned. Would you like a creative follow-up scene, imagining one character saying goodbye in a tear-jerking final shift?